In this video, we're going to discuss how this one trick can help your staffing agency to scale to 6 figures faster. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Natasha, the business recruiter. Welcome back to my channel. So when it comes to you actually starting a staffing agency, one of the things that you need to keep in mind is that it is going to take a lot of time, energy, and money. That's because starting a staffing agency does require a lot more than starting a recruiting agency. Keeping in mind that with starting a staffing agency, you are actually making candidates employees for your organization and then ultimately lending them out to other companies in order to complete work. With having these candidates turn into employees, this means that you are obligated to follow all of the legislation that's going to be associated with bringing on an employee. This also includes anything associated with payroll. However, one way that you can think about this in order to be able to scale your staffing agency a lot faster, as well as be able to actually just get started if you don't necessarily have a ton of capital, is to think about hiring a company to be the employer on record. Within the industry, this is often referred to as an EOR. Essentially, an employer on record serves as the main entity handling all personnel functions. This includes payroll processing as well as funding. Anything associated with you actually being able to have an employee, the employer on record organization or company can take care of. For example, they'll take care of all tax filings and deposits, and they can also handle all employment contracts and paperwork. Depending on the type of roles that you're looking to fill, an employer on record can also complete drug screenings as well as background check screenings. This allows your staffing agency to really focus on the essence of what a staffing business is supposed to do, which is to match temporary workers to organizations that are in need of staff. The employer on record ultimately allows you the opportunity to be able to focus on just that. Now, keep in mind that this is a great partnership that a staffing agency can have with an employer on record, but there are certain liabilities that you also need to keep in mind. But before we dive in, if you haven't hit that subscribe button just yet, then be sure to go down below and hit subscribe. That way you can get notified of all of my videos that do drop weekly. So when it comes to liabilities associated with the employer on record, they are going to be responsible for any employment issues that arise. So anything associated with benefits or taxes or payroll is going to fall in the liability of the employer on record. However, you have to keep in mind that as a staffing agency owner, you are still going to maintain control over all business operations, meaning that if there's any situation that arises in regards to instances related to violations of workplace safety, that is going to fall on you. So as the staffing agency owner, you maintain all liability associated with the actual business operations, even though you do have an employer on record who's going to be liable for any of the items associated with employment. Now, there's a multitude of ways that you can actually go about getting into the staffing field. Keep in mind that this is just one. And this one way or tip or trick can be helpful for you if you don't necessarily have the funds in order to be able to get started. And if you haven't thought about it just yet, one other route that you could always take is to start a recruiting agency through placing direct placement candidates and then leveraging that revenue to then get your staffing agency off of the ground. Understand that there is no right or wrong way in order to be able to do this, but the most important thing is that you actually get started. Well, I hope that you found this video to be helpful. If you did, then be sure to give me a thumbs up. As well as if you're not in my Facebook group, I highly encourage that you join because we are in there talking all things recruiting. I'll go ahead and leave that link down below in the description box. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.